Hey everybody, this is herculespetix, founder, curator, docent, and gift shop employee of the herculespetix Academy of Comic Book Studies. Today we're going to be looking at the Legend of Kamui, number 34 through number 37. And this is it, guys. This is the finale of the Swordwind. All the chapters are here. This is the last chapter, 4 parts of Boshin. And, sorry, these colors are just disgusting. I'm getting nauseous looking at them. I can't believe these colors. But, so this is it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed all these Legend of Kamui so far, and I hope you enjoy the conclusion. Once again, I gotta say, I'm a little confused by some of these, and part of me is wondering, I know that Eclipse definitely did at one point cut some stuff out, and so maybe it's not my fault, but I think it is. I'm just not as subtle a reader as Shirato is subtle a writer. And I can't, sometimes I'm a little lost. So here we go, number 34, first part of Boshin, which is the last chapter of the Swordwind, as I've said. So we're back in Awari, and we're in the castle town, Nagoya. We see these two guys fighting. The whole town is around, just kind of cheering, because I guess these guys are a bunch of ne'er-do-wells. They're nobody likes them. They're just guys always get in trouble, so everyone's just all like, all right, kill each other. And I think this is Lord Genpo, but maybe it's just the local constable. I'm not sure. And when they arrive on the scene, they look out in this pond where they're fighting, and the crowd says, the townspeople say they killed each other. And okay, this is going to be weird in a second. So the whole town was watching these two guys fight, and they're both dead. Now we cut away to this other kind of drunk, idiot-looking guy. He's a samurai, though. And this guy appears out of the shadows in a hood. And he challenges him, and he runs him right through the neck with his sword. Nice sequence there. Well, it looks like there's... Oh, and so then those two guys we saw on the first page, they find this dead body. And this guy, yeah, he's another troublemaker. So nobody's going to grieve over him. And then they say there's another one. But this guy is a suicide. And once again, he's another kind of degenerate, kind of loser. So, okay, that was probably just the constable, this guy. And so they go tell Genpo. And the magistrate, the constable, says he would like Genpo to advise them, to consult them. And so he sees the bodies. And apparently, you know, these guys know their swordsmanship. Whoever did these murders apparently shows amazing skill. He must have been a very skilled swordsman. And they have a wound in the throat. So I don't understand this part at all, because these guys, the whole town was watching them fight. But supposedly, some guy snuck behind them and stabbed them while they were fighting. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. And so they conclude that these three were killed by the same murderer, neck wounds. But then the suicide poses a question. It's like, well, what does he have to do with this? And Genpo opens up his mouth, and he sees a single thrust, wound inside the mouth. So the guy didn't kill him in the neck, but he killed him in the mouth. And so the magistrate thanks Genpo, and he says if he can think of any swordsman who could have done this, he'll keep it in mind. But as of yet, he doesn't know. And of course, as he's leaving, he says, by the way, can we have those corpses? Because he needs it for his sword training, testing the swords. Apparently, all these guys were just passing through. They were all kind of like traveling guys who didn't have a home. So we have this strange little sequence here where we see this person that we don't know who it is yet and a little boy. And these guys get nervous. Genpo and his two retainers are like, we're being followed. Take the next right. And they totally sense, because, you know, these guys are like warriors, so they have a sense, you know, they're like, uh-oh, there's a threat coming. And then all of a sudden, this stray cat jumps on this owl and kills him. Pretty dramatic, actually. And runs away. So they're like, it was just a cat. And as they're walking by, the old man and the kid, they say, only a monk. And Genpo says, that monk has skill. He's no ordinary man. Maybe you can just tell by the way he walks. I don't know. But these samurai guys, they got a sixth sense for that stuff, I guess. And of course, just as you figured, it's that old monk who we've seen, the mysterious monk. And there's little Koyota. He's taken him under his wing. They're in town hanging out, getting some food. And when they return to their castle, they see the old monk and Koyota, and they're praying at the grave of the Yagyu clan. And they're like, what's your business with us? A bunch of samurai come out there. They're like, what the hell is this guy doing? And the old monk says, I was an acquaintance of Lord Hyogu Yagyu. That is Genpo's father. And Genpo's brothers, too, who I can't think of his name right now, who's actually the master of the clan. Oh, here we go, Toshikata. So Genpo is the swords master. Toshikata is the leader of the clan. And their brothers and their father was Hyogo. And he's the crazy monk. We finally found out his name, Boshin Ata. And he says he was an old friend of Hyogo. And Toshikata says, are you related to Master Bowen Ata, sir? And he says, Bowen is my older brother. So Bowen is he's the old, basically the master of the sword style that the Yagyu employ. And so they apologize. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Please dine with us tonight. And so they bring him back to the castle for dinner. And they have a little history here about how the Yagyu became the masters of the Shinkage school. That's their secret sword style. And as a young man, I guess, Hyogo met Master Bowen. And he was given the mastership of the Shinto school from Master Bowen. So he basically gave them the I guess the franchise of this sword style. So Master Bowen is also like really into Zen and Tantric Buddhism. He's a very spiritual man, even though he's this master swordsman. So basically, I'm gonna keep calling him the old monk, so he's not confused with his brother. He says, I'm actually here looking for someone. I'm looking for this boy's father. If you remember, his father was the grass cutting sword style guy. And Juzo Makuta. And when they say his name, we see that the brothers start sweating. They deny that they know anything about him. And meanwhile, outside, Kamui, who has been hanging out in Awari with the Yagyus, the old monk sees him bathing and recognizes him and says, "Hey, Kamui, I thought it was you." And the brothers are really sweating now. The fact that he knows Kamui as well. So the bodies arrive from the magistrate's office, the corpses. And the old monk says, "Oh, can I go watch?" And that's where the issue ends. We got a letter page, and that's it for that issue. Number 35, vomit-inducing cover, aside. The art inside is very nice. Love when they do this shit. So the old monk is Boshin, his brother's Bowen. I love this just beautiful establishing page here. It's night, the owls are hooting, and Genpo is going to try out his newest swords on these corpses. Oh, God. So gnarly. The monk's just laughing. Moshe's just, wow, that's not bad. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, young Coyote starts puking. He's never seen anything that gross. And then Kamui says, "Hey, could you let me try that sword on that body?" And he says, "I will cut it in half." And apparently that's very difficult because everyone's all like, "What?" And this one thing, once again, just get a little weird for me. We see him attempting to slice the body in half, and the sword breaks. I don't know if it's because it's hitting the ground under the guy. And, of course, everyone's in shock. Even the monk looks kind of confused. The other half of the blade falls in the ground. Chink. And then this guy jumps out of, I don't know where. Was he hiding under the corpse? I don't think it's one of the corpses that wasn't really dead. They were definitely dead. So I have no idea. I'm a little confused. So whoever he is, I mean, he's obviously one of the ninja chasing Kamui. He attacks him. I love all these speed lines. All these action lines. Makes it really very exciting. And Kamui throws the blade right through his neck. And kills him. Oh no, he's not quite dead. Maybe it's not through his neck, it's right in his chest. And then Kamui finishes the job when he lunges at him. That's another nice sequence there. And then these ninjas fall out of the trees. And Kamui takes them on, of course. Some more high-flying antics. Kamui just jumps like 30 feet in the air. There's some good ninja action here. And Kamui has dispatched all the ninjas. He just puts the sword away. And then he runs. I love that panel, by the way. And the two brothers, the Yagyus, are like, "Finally, it has begun. Keep an eye on Kamui." Once again, the monk is just smiling that, inscrutable smile. And as Kamui runs away, more ninjas attack. This one looks like he was hiding in the ground. I forgot how action-packed this one was. Tons of ninja action. He uses his kawarimi again. We think Kamui's bought it, but it's just a log. I still don't get that whole business. It's pretty fantastical. Only Lamont Cranston can do that shit. This is some really fun action here. And then Kamui is, these spears fall all around him, almost like a cage. And who should jump down from the tree? Utsetse has shown up. And Utsetse asks Kamui, how did you come and know about my conflict with the Yagyu? And he tells him about how he mistook Uzumo for him, Uzumo of the Yagyu clan, and killed him. Before he died, he told me what happened. And Utsetse says, what? Uzumo was alive? In Utsetse's mind, he says Kogashira and his ninja must have been killed by Uzumo. If that is so, then everything falls into place. I hated reading that panel because I was like, it doesn't quite for me. Not everything's falling into place at all. I'm still a little confused. But then again, this is just a segment of Kamui, all 37 issues, so I don't know the whole picture. And he finds out the whole deal about how the Iga ninja, his ninja clan, and the Yagyu made a deal. And Kamui basically says, you have two choices, the way I see it. Become a new Kennen, like me, always on the run from ninjas, or die with me here. And he basically says, it's lonely to travel in solitude. Sometimes you want a companion to hell. And basically he's like saying, I think Kamui's just saying, dude, we're both, all these guys want to kill us. Let's just run off together. And, fuck these guys. And then Kamui even says that we must kill the Yagyu brothers and even kill the top 6 disciples so the Yagyu clan will disintegrate. That's the only way to get rid of them, chop off the head. And it looks like Utsetse kind of agrees with him. He says, well, actually, it's a bold idea, but it would stop all this, being hounded by the Yagyus. And he says, yes, we should try. But then they attack each other. So I don't really understand. Maybe it's just like for fun. And they're like, let's test each other's skills. And Kamui, they meet in midair, as you can see. And it looks like Utsetse is either dead or just knocked out. And Kamui says it can't be. So I think he's referring to the fact that, like, the Utsetse I know would not have, that wouldn't have knocked him out or killed him. So something's going on here. And Utsetse isn't dead. He wakes up for a second and says, your skill has improved. So basically what's been going on is Kamui, from fighting all these guys with their different styles, he's gotten even better. I think he didn't even realize it himself, how good he was now. Because remember the first time he met Utsetse? Utsetse kicked his ass. And now he just totally takes Utsetse out. Now we got number 36. I just haven't said his full name yet. I should say every episode. Sanpei Shirato. This is the work of the great mangaka, Sanpei Shirato. And so now we're back to the Yagyu clan. And all of a sudden they come out of nowhere. And they surround Kamui. And of course Utsetse, who's unconscious. This is the big showdown, guys. Get ready for a lot of fun and excitement. Now, let's start. And the first blow is struck. And look at Kamui. Just like a fucking lawnmower through these guys going through grass. He's only got a staff. I love that panel. It's like a piece of his the skull around his eyes falling off. Yeah, Kamui's at this point, he's like a superhero. He's taking like 30 samurai. And of course, the old monk is there with his Devious grin. Seems like he approves of this business. And just more carnage. That's a great panel. I love that. That's a tattoo on an arm, at least. That's pretty cool. Look at all this action lines. Man, don't really have much to comment on. You can see it yourself. This is wicked cool shit. This is a great, well choreographed fight scene. And very gory too, as you can see. Kamui's untouchable. Then all these archers show up. They're about to kill Kamui. And the monk stops everyone. He says, "Fools, can you not see that if you attack him, you're just going to be slain? He's so much better than all of you guys." But the leader of this the army just says, "Kill him." So the archers shoot their arrows. And so now basically the monk has no choice but to join in on Kamui's side. And he's so skilled that he knocks all the arrows out of the air. Almost like Wonder Woman with her bracelets against bullets. It's crazy. And all these guys run at the monk. And this panel's kind of confusing, but it's really interesting when you find out what's happening. All of a sudden, he's in the center of these guys. They're all facing the wrong way. They're all looking somewhere else. And Genpo and his brother say, "He moves too fast to see." So basically that's Shirato's way, almost like that Quicksilver scene in that X-Men movie, where he moves so fast that it just seems like these guys are statues, and he just runs in the middle of them. And you don't even see the blows, but they all fall over. And he says, "What is the meaning of this?" The old monk says this. "Is there a pact between the Yagyu and the ninja?" And then he starts scolding Genpo. He says, "Is this the Yagyu way? You're supposed to be an excellent swordsman. You fight with your sword. You don't hire a bunch of ninjas to assassinate your foe. You take them on yourself." And so Kamui says, "Fight me, Genpo. Fight me with dignity. I accept your challenge." And of course, the other soldiers want to just rush in and kill Kamui, but the old monk doesn't let him. He says, "Let no others interfere with this battle." And so now we got this amazing showdown. And as they're, getting ready, kind of scoping each other out, Genpo is like changing his sword techniques, gripping the sword in a different way. And Kamui's matching him like he knows his secret sword techniques. And of course, Genpo is just shocked. He's just like, "What the fuck? He knows how does he know our sword techniques?" And they haven't even touched each other yet, haven't even attacked each other. But he can see by his movements that Genpo can see that Kamui knows. And then the battle begins. The first pass here. I love that, these two panels mirroring each other. This is some exciting stuff. I was reading this last night in bed and I was like, yes, finally. And it looks like Kamui's winning, like he's getting little tags on Genpo. Nothing serious, but like cutting his shirt and stuff. His robe, I should say. And the fight continues. I like these breakdown of panels here. And it does look like Kamui's using all these kind of techniques. It looks like he's using that grass cutter technique, falling down on the ground, attacking from the low vantage point, chopping at his foot. He chops his sandal off. And then finally, first blood is drawn. God, I love this fight scene. Really good stuff. And it looks like Kamui's got the best of Genpo. And so the soldiers are about to rush in once again, and the monk has to stop them once again. Letter page and number 37, the conclusion of, Epic Eclipse International's run of Legend of Kamui. There's many, many more Kamui stories than this. So the fight, I'm sorry, Genpo's brother joins in the fight. So even though the soldiers don't, the brother does. So these guys are they've lost a bunch of their dignity and honor. This is not cool samurai stuff, 2-on-1. But Kamui's doing pretty good. God, that's so great to me. Great composition. That panel too, really like it. Just the diagonal there. So it looks like Kamui is wounded. And then everything kind of slows down. They're getting ready for their last attack on Kamui. They're pretty confident that he's done for. And I love this to show just like how the still moment. We just see these mice running around in the woods, in the grass. And then the tension is released. And they attack Kamui from both sides. Kamui does the ground technique again. The stop, drop, and roll. Oh, man. It's fun acrobatics there. It's like a jackrabbit. And we kind of see how late it's gotten. These owls are asleep in the trees. And everyone's still watching the fight. The owls fly away. And Utsetse finally wakes up. And he sees Kamui fighting the brothers, the Yagyu brothers. So now they're really pretty sure they got Kamui. They're like, there will be no tomorrow for you. And it does look like Kamui's pretty hurting. And so they attack him. And then all of a sudden Utsetse jumps up and joins the fray. The two great enemies are teaming up now. That's another great panel. Oh, this is fun. And that gives Kamui a chance to get up and so he can help Utsetse fight the brothers. And it looks like Utsetse has got Genpo in his sights. It looks like Genpo's dead. And then all of a sudden, it's the monk's staff. The monk stops him. He says the contest is already decided. And he basically says, you don't have the right to kill him. And then once again, he dresses down Genpo and makes him feel shame. And he basically invokes his father's name. He says, if Lord Hyogo could see you now, he would grieve at how far you've fallen. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's the scene where Utsetse decides to, he doesn't care what the monk's saying. He's going to kill him. And the monk stops him again. It says, the right to kill Yagyu is not yours. And then he tells young Kyota, he says, the father you have been searching for is no longer in this world. And he points to Genpo. He says, that man, he was the one who sent assassins to kill your father. Avenge him. He doesn't deserve to live. And cute little Koyota picks up the sword and looks like he's going to chop his head off. But he stops and he starts crying for his lost father. And apparently it was a test. The monk says, you did just what you should have done. Swordmanship is just a way for killing people. And basically he says this was a symbolic thing. He tells Genpo, the shameful, unhonorable Genpo you've been has been slain by this boy today. You can be someone else now. Be a better man. And then we get a little, in the narration, Genpo was 30 years old at that time. Later, he took the name Ranyasi Yagyu and was known as the greatest swordsman of his era. And he lived to be ripe old age. So apparently he did change his ways and realized that he was acting shamefully. And then he says, Utsetse, do you have nothing to tell the boy? Because Utsetse was the one who knows that his father was dead. You know how he knows? Because he killed him. He was one of the assassins that Genpo sent after him. And he, but I guess he liked the boy and he wanted to train him, but he also wanted to give him hope that his father was alive. So Utsetse says, Koyoto, it was I who actually attacked and killed your father. It seems you don't want revenge now, but when you're stronger in the future, come attack me. I will accept that challenge. Farewell. This is very odd. And so now we got Kamui and Utsetse walking off. And they have another match. I'm pretty sure this time it's just a match to show off each other's skills. But then again, I don't know. Some of the motives of these characters are so nebulous and so hard to discern and figure out. So we see another great battle scene, all these ninja weapons, and Kamui stabs him right in the foot, right through the foot. He stabs Utsetse. And basically, Kamui is the better warrior. So Utsetse just says, kill me. And Kamui says, I'm disappointed in you. I thought you were a man of greater character than this. And he walks off, leaving Utsetse lying on the ground in his shame. And that's the end of the Swordwind. So, obviously not the end of the story, the whole epic. So I've never read anything else, but it's kind of satisfying conclusion to this, at least chapter of Kamui's life. And really like this, these last 4 issues. It really, very action-packed. And so that's it for the Legend of Kamui, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching all these videos. Hope you enjoyed this video. And I got to get me some more Kamui. I know it's out there. Drawn and Quarterly's been reprinting them. Unabridged. I imagine probably better printing and translation too, since technology's changed. So I'm going to seek those out. And maybe one day in the future, I'll come back to Kamui. And we'll look at some more. So thanks for watching, guys. And hopefully I'll see you soon here at the Herculespetix Academy of Comic Book Studies.